Alrighty, so nice Sunday ride, did about 88 k's today. We are heading off to Woody Point on the Redcliffe Peninsula. So it's about 88 k's altogether return, and the chap there now in the blue on the left, he is George. Met him today. This is a little group we tagged on the back of along, we're coming along Sandgate at the moment. And we thought we'd jump on the back of them because it was as blowy as all hell, and we just thought we'd have a free ride. And then there's a bridge that we're coming up to in a minute, and we thought we'd just sneak a ride over there with them as well, because that always gets blowy. It always blows a gale on that bridge. And George behind me, I'll explain a little bit about George. Now, this all sort of worked out about right, because on my last video, someone made a comment about vegans. You've got to go vegan, all the rest of it. You won't get all these problems, birth defects, all the rest of it, and you got to eat healthy, plant-based diet. Look, I've always said, and I still maintain, healthy, balanced diet is the way. I don't eat a great deal of meat myself these days, although we did have meat tonight. We had a camp stew. But we don't eat a great deal of meat, to be absolutely honest with you. I can't remember the last time I had a steak. In fact, I don't eat steaks anymore, don't eat sausages. But anyway, besides the point, I'm of the firm belief that a healthy, balanced diet, everything in moderation. You see, the problem is these days, people overindulge. And I know, and I've seen, a lot of unhealthy vegans. Yeah? Overweight vegans. Okay? It happens, people. It happens. I'm not going to mention any names, but I do know some vegans, and they're overweight. I can tell you now, they couldn't run 200 metres to save their life. So you can't say that a plant-based diet is the be-all and end-all. We are all different. We're made up differently. Sometimes it's just the luck of the draw in life. Some people have got good genes, some people haven't got such good genes. If you've got bad genes, going full vegan or vegetarian, who knows if it makes a difference? I don't know. There's no scientific facts for this that I know of. But anyway, enough of that. The chap I'm going to introduce you to now, as I mentioned earlier, is George. I only met him today, only very briefly. 75 this guy is. 75, I'll have you know. We're coming up to a section now where we're going across the bridge, and I did say that I was just going to take it easy. I was having a chat with him just now. He's just riding to the left of me. We're having a little chat, and I said to him, I'm just going to take it easy over the bridge, tag along these guys and have a nice steady ride. Anyway, I got to the first little part of the bridge, and I decided I'd go up and lead it out for them. And George, I can tell you, he hung on all the way. In fact, there was only me, Alf and George left. We dropped the rest of them. We were sitting on around 48 k's an hour, and he was there the whole way. We're coming up to the bridge now. There's the rest of the guys up the front there. Just go part around this guy, and you'll see in the background there, George is in the blue. He's just coming up, so he's having to do a bit of an effort. You can see my watts were right up into 400 watts. To get back on, they're sitting on 40 k's an hour. And here comes George. And George, by the way, I was having a chat with him after this little segment. I take off in a minute and get up the front. George was telling me he eats just a healthy, balanced diet. He still eats meat. He eats a lot of fruit and veg, but he still eats his meat as well. Right? So he has a healthy, balanced diet. Now this guy is 75. He rides 50 kilometres a day. He does some races during the year. He's just been down to Coffs Harbour, I think it was, he said, and did a race there. It was 60 k's, and he came 8th overall. I mean, that's pretty bloody good. He had an average speed of 33.5 k's an hour, which is damn good. That is good, 33.5 k's an hour over 60 k's. That's pumping along. So what I'm saying is, plenty of people get to a ripe old age that have a healthy, balanced diet. I've always said I'm not against veganism. People that want to do it, I say go for your life. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Go for it. Whether it's the right or the wrong thing to do, I don't know. I really don't know. You know, I like my cheeses. You know, I like a bit of ice cream now and again. I just find it too hard to do the vegan thing. Here I go, now I take off. You see my watts zoom up there. Nice high cadence. And there's Alf behind me, look. Just go past this guy. George is right on Alf's tail, as you can see there, look. And everyone else, they get dropped. There's George, 75. Healthy, balanced diet all his life. And here he is. He's sticking with us, and we're sitting on in a minute. We're getting up to like 48 k's an hour shortly. So, you know, look, it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? As I've always said, you know, you have to, I think in life these days, with everything that goes on, I think you have to maintain a bit of realism. You can't listen to everything you hear and see on YouTube. A lot of people, you know, someone puts a YouTube video on, like some of the YouTubers that are just fanatical vegans, they put a YouTube video on, they give out a whole heap of stats here and there, and other people just go, that's it, that's the truth. You know, a lot of people do these YouTube channels, they make a living out of it, or they try to make a living out of it, and they've got to be a bit exciting, they've got to be a little bit argumentative, you know, and that's how it works. And vegans do it really well, you know, it's just, that's just how it is. But you can't believe everything you see. I mean, my dad, he's 78 I think he is now, he's eaten meat all his life, pretty much every day. He smokes, what, 40, 50 cigarettes a day, he drinks, and he's still popping along, strong as an ox. My mum drinks, has smoked in the past, but she doesn't anymore. But she drinks. She's a vegetarian, by the way, and she's 79 and still popping along. You know, it comes down to genes. You just have to have a little bit of common sense in this world, and you know, you can't believe everything you hear on YouTube. You just gotta, you know, you've got to make your own mind up. You know, you can't be a sheep. Don't be a sheep. Don't follow the crowd just because it's a trendy thing to do. You've got to make your own mind up. Everything doesn't work for one thing doesn't work for every person. Here's George now. I'm going to get you on camera.
Why is that?
I'll put you on my YouTube channel. 75, mate. You stayed up with us all the way.
Yeah.
You did well.
I don't know what we're doing. My bloody computer's gone.
We're doing about 47 k's an hour.
Were you?
Yeah.
I used to live over on Old Cleveland Road.
Oh, did you?
In the 1970s.
Yeah.
Then I moved back to Coffs.
Well done.
Now I've been back up here 2 years.
Right.
Over in Newport.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I'm 75, I hope I'm still bombing along at your pace. You're doing well.
Oh no, I try to keep up there if I can.
You do, yeah, you do good. If that's not a bit of inspiration for you, I don't know what is. That guy has got to give you a little bit of inspiration, don't you think? 75, I'm still riding at 75 and I'm able to pop along like he is. I'll tell you, I'll be one happy bloke, I really will. I think that's great, you know, you need more people like him in the world. Nice level-headed bloke, and like I said to you, he's just on a nice, healthy, balanced diet, and to me, that's what it's all about.